We will just wait for the remainder of people to come into the lobby and we can commence our virtual postgraduate open day for today. Okay, I think it's probably safe to kick off. Good afternoon, everyone. You're all very welcome to our Graduate and Professional Studies virtual open day event. For those of you who have been on campus today, it's been a super day so far with thousands of future students walking right across the campus, visiting our faculties and all our facilities. So it's been wonderful. We're also delighted to host our virtual open day online this year to support a regional and a global audience. So you're all very welcome. Today, we're going to chat more on how postgraduate study can help you go further in your discipline. We're also going to chat about the benefits of going further after graduation and across your career and getting a head start on applying for postgraduate study as the application window for autumn 2026 has now just opened. My name is Laura Chalk and I will host this afternoon's open day session. Today is the first in a series of events designed to support you on your journey to stay curious. We're delighted to be joined by a number of members of the postgraduate community here at UL, including Geraldine Carroll, who's our Associate Vice President of Graduate and Professional Studies, and Ger will chat more on why UL will help you go further. Brendan Lally is from our University of Limerick Careers Service, and he'll chat more on the impact that postgraduate study has in your career. And then we will have Adam Burke, who's a graduate of the MSc in Work and Organisational Psychology and an ambassador for Community for the Curious. So looking forward to having a chat with Adam. And also then we will have Mohammed Adnan, who is the Vice President of Engagement at our Postgraduate Student Union at University of Limerick. We're also joined by a panel that includes experts from our 4 faculties, professional education, admissions and UL Global. A warm welcome and thanks to all our panel members who've joined us today. Our moderator on the call today is Noelle O'Brien, and Noelle and the team will shortly open the chat. So you can post your questions there and we will do our best to assist you in the chat. Before we commence with our first speaker, I just want to let you know that this meeting is being recorded. Geraldine, I'd like to welcome you to our virtual open day discussion today. There you are, great. Ger, I might hand over to you.
Thanks, Laura. My name is Ger Carroll and I'm Associate Vice President in Graduate and Professional Studies. I'm very happy to welcome you to today's postgraduate open event. Delighted to see such strong interest in our programmes with over 600 applications or registrations, I should say, to this event alone. And I'm also delighted to see increased applications year on year to study for postgraduate and professional programmes at UL. Please ask plenty of questions today. We have an excellent team on hand to respond. So firstly, let's talk a little bit about curiosity. For many of you, this is the reason you are here. The first and simplest emotion which we discover in the human mind is curiosity. You'll hear much about curiosity in UL. It's part of our brand, our learning ethos, it's part of our culture. Our hope for you is to fulfill your ambition to stay curious and go further in 2025 and 26, realising your learning and your career ambitions, whatever they may be. We have over 18,000 students representing 100 countries and 366 acres of campus life. The UL campus is really beautiful and the university is consistently held in high regard by students for student experience. It's busy and engaging, yet it's also green and peaceful at the same time. There's a beautiful river walk that links our campus with the city. At the moment, it's a celebration of autumnal colour. We have 8 student accommodation villages, 1 million books, 409 labs and 262,000 square metres of buildings. The campus prides itself on a commitment to sustainability, ranked 61st for Sustainable Development Goals on Times Higher Education rankings. And a commitment to excellence, innovation and stability has pushed UL to 421st in the QS World Rankings. Most importantly though for you, 90% of UL's taught master's grads are either employed or conducting further study. We have over 5,000 student registrations to postgraduate programmes from over 14,000 applications. But the important question, I suppose, to ask is, why would you study for a postgraduate or professional programme? Well, firstly, I suppose the half-life of knowledge is diminishing. And the half-life of knowledge is the amount of time that takes or that has to lapse before half of the knowledge or facts in a discipline is superseded or becomes untrue. And we hear a lot about, this in the conversation around AI. The durability of ideas, it varies from one discipline or subject area to the next. For social sciences and psychology, the half-life is thought to be around 5 to 10 years. For technology, it's between 2 and 5. So knowledge evolves and becomes obsolete. And this means there's a real inherent value to investing in your education now and topping up on that knowledge throughout your career. Postgrad and professional study is without a doubt an opportunity to convert your career to another or related field, or to specialise. And specialised skills are important for your employment prospects. More employers now are expecting a master's level of attainment. Specialised skills are important for your career pathway. Obtaining a master's has been shown to increase your promotional opportunities as well as employability. Specialist skills are important in meeting some professional, statutory and regularity requirements, and also for your learning progression. So, for example, if you want to go on and study a PhD. In all cases, we urge you to study an area you're also passionate about, and we'll support you in this. So here in UL, we have excellent supports to help you transition to your new learning environment. Supports include our career services, various learning centres, the Regional Writing Centre, and a really excellent libraries facility with a highly engaged postgraduate student union. For those of you on the call who are currently studying an undergraduate degree, continuing directly into full-time postgrad study while you're still accustomed to the academic life of the university is the path of least resistance, because I suppose you are in the regular routine of study. A postgrad programme is significant in terms of investment of time, your effort, and of course money, and many of you will be thinking about return on investment. As shown in the UL graduate outcome stats, the reality is that higher education attainment is positively linked to higher salaries. Graduate salaries increase based on the level of attainment. So PhD or research master's grads earning an average salary of 54,500, taught masters in around 45,300, postgrad certs and diplomas just under 59,000, and undergrads honours degrees earning 35,500. So there's definitely a return on investment for study. Graduate Outcome Survey also tells us that higher education attainment is positively linked to higher employment or further study rates in general. So 96% of UL PhD research and 95% of taught master's grads are employed or studying further. And it's important to look at employment trends. Like UL is a young university, and we've grown up with a host of multinational companies surrounding us. The labour market in Ireland is very buoyant with very low unemployment, so companies are competing for graduating talent. I think it's also important to note that outside of Dublin, the Midwest, in particular Limerick and Shannon, have the largest concentration of multinational companies, and there is an abundance of small to medium enterprises that feed that as a sub-supply network. So a postgraduate qualification is increasingly seen as desired or required for progression to more senior roles for many of these employers. Workforce skills have an increased value in organisations in creating and maintaining their competitive edge, and UL's programmes of studies have been co-developed in partnership with industry, and that means you're work ready, you're prepared for that evolving world of work. So finally, I just want to wish you the very best in making your future choice. We have an excellent mix of presentations this afternoon to support you in that decision-making process. Míle buíochas, and all the best in your future study. And I'll hand you back over to you, Laura.
Sure, thank you so much for that. It's always great to understand more about where UL is at, and those links to industry have always been part of UL's DNA, and it really does prepare and empower our graduates to go further. And Brendan certainly will talk to that when we chat shortly. Before we do, I just want to introduce our faculty and our UL Global team who are here today. It's great to see that Q&A is already in full swing. And certainly hello to those people who've joined us from Ghana, Dubai and Milan. So this is a good time to introduce you to Katrina Conway, who is part of our UL Global team. Katrina, would you like to say a quick hello to everyone on the call today and to help them understand why UL Global will help them on their journey to becoming students at UL?
Absolutely, Laura. Thank you for having me. It's great to see some potential students here on the call from outside of Ireland as well. So we are the International Student Recruitment and Marketing team. So we work with students that are interested to come to study at University of Limerick a postgraduate thought programme or a PhD, options to come here to study for a period of time. And we're a small team, but we work to exhibit and to showcase University of Limerick across 7 regions globally. So some of you might be located in cities where members of the team are exhibiting, or we have some education agents or some in-country representatives or alumni on the ground that I potentially may be able to connect you up with to potentially have a conversation about exploring postgraduate options at UL. Just to say, for those particular students, I'm conscious there's obviously, domestic Irish-based students on the call as well, but when you are applying from overseas, it can be a complex process, particularly when study visas are involved, and also perhaps English language requirements, etc., and different particular entry requirements depending on the undergraduate, a bachelor degree that you've completed, etc. So those things are kind of nuanced, and we will navigate our way through them with you, I suppose, pre-application stage. And to give it a bit of context, I suppose we are a very international campus as well. So there's about 3,500 of our 20,000 students come from outside of Ireland. So you've got over 100 nationalities across diverse cohorts. Why typically over the years talking to prospective students that are coming from overseas, master's programs are very, I suppose, appealing because they're often 12 months in duration, and students can work 20 hours per week while they study, and also there's a 2-year post-study work visa where you can remain and work in Ireland afterwards. The other things I would say is that we do a series of webinars for future students that are coming from outside of Ireland, and we incorporate our alumni and our current students on those as well. And it's a question and answers, kind of like this forum, but I suppose more intimate. So please follow us on social media for alerts on that /UL Global. We put alerts up there when we are going to be running those. So they're the kind of main things, really, that just to let you know that there is an office dedicated to, international students navigating their way to apply to UL. And of course, our office also follows through on the other side when you arrive around student support and cultural integration events, etc. So I suppose it's just to make that very short introduction. And if there are any questions, I'm very happy to answer those in the chat.
That's brilliant, Katrina. Thank you so much. And hello also to someone who's joining us from Budapest as well. I hope I shouldn't have left them out when we were making our introduction. Katrina, thank you so much. And if you could maybe put some contact details in the chat, or maybe a link to some of the social channels where people might find those future student webinar details, that would be fantastic. I now want to introduce some of our faculty team who are here today, because your application starts really with discovering your programme of interest and then potentially engaging with faculty on whether that's right for you, and then moving it through into an application stage. So I just want to introduce you to some of my colleagues. I'm going to invite the 3 who are here to come on camera. That's Lynn O'Doherty from EHS, Joanna Carroll from Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, and Deirdre O'Dwyer from Kimmy Business School. Excuse me. Lynn, you're very welcome. do you want to give you a quick introduction and let people know
Thank you.
how best to contact you?
Thanks very much, Laura. So my name is Lynn O'Doherty, and I work for the Faculty of Education and Health Sciences. So we have a number of programs, quite diverse programs. So if you're a teacher and if you want to progress in your career, we have a number of programs that will help you do that. Also, if you want to become a teacher, we have a PME with a number of different disciplines running. We also have psychology programs. So again, if you're interested in the discipline of psychology, be it clinical or community, or health and community, we have master's programs that will help you achieve those disciplines. We have a number of allied health programs and their conversion programs in the disciplines of speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, dietetics, and occupational therapy. Those programs are highly sought after, just to let you know, and they close earlier than a lot of programs, as does the PME, the program that teaches you to be a teacher. So just be aware of those early closing dates. We have a number of sports programs as well. A number of nursing disciplines at master's levels, and we have graduate entry medicine for those who are considering maybe going back to college to study medicine.
Great. That's
Thanks,
great. And
Laura.
good whistle stop tour. If you could put maybe your contact details in the chat, and then people might be able to reach out after the call.
Certainly.
Deirdre, I see your camera's on. Do you want to come on and say a quick hello?
Hi, everybody. My name is Deirdre O'Dwyer. I work for the Chemie Business School, which is the Faculty of Business in UL. So we offer a full portfolio of master's programs and professional diplomas across all areas of business, really. So that would range from accounting and finance, work and employment studies, which would include HR or work and organizational behavior, economics, management, and marketing. So we have a full range of programs. Within management, we would have project management, also international management, a full range. So I will put my contact details into the chat, and also the link to our list of programs, and I'll take any queries related to those. Or if people want to contact me after the webinar, that's fine as well. Okay.
That's brilliant. Deirdre, thank you so much. And now to welcome Joanna Carroll, who's from our Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences. Joanna, do I see you on the call? I know you're somewhere.
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, see me hiding in the background. Hi, everyone. My name is Joanna Carroll. So I work within the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences here in the University of Limerick. So within my role, we have a range of programs that I would help in promotion. So there would be sociology, creative writing, there would be law, politics, international relations, logistics, and then we also have a range of programs in music and dance, which we have a state-of-the-art facility in the Irish World Academy. Our Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences programs are designed really to equip students with both hard and soft skills that are in demand at the minute across a wide range of industries. They include media and communication, analytics, consulting, international relations, and also law and policy. If you'd like to get in touch with me, I'll put my email in the chat, and I also hold one-on-one clinics as well if anyone wants to discuss about the application process or a bit more about our programs in more details as well. And I'll also be running webinars throughout the year as well on specific programs that we run.
That's excellent, Joanna. And I already see people in the chat who may be interested in some programs. I see one there who's interested in public history and cultural heritage. So great to see that the discovery of the range of programs at Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences is already underway. So always good to see. So we left our first section of the conversation, and we were talking about the impact of postgraduate studies and how they help you go further in your career. And so it's great to have Brendan Lally from UL's Career Service here today, who is going to talk more on how postgraduate studies can help you go further. So Brendan, I'll hand over to you.
Thanks very much, Laura, and delighted to be here. My name is Brendan Lally. I'm a member of the UL Careers Service team here for the last 10 years. And before that, I spent a number of decades in industry in HR. So I really enjoy bringing that knowledge and guidance to the students so that they can realize their career ambitions. So along with that, we obviously have a lot of services that include, career consultations, both in person and online, preparing for interviews, job searches, along with careers fairs and your usual career workshops. Whenever I tell anybody what I do for a living, one of the questions that comes up is, what's the hot course at the moment that will guarantee me a great career and a great job? And I suppose it's probably the wrong question that I'm being asked, So my response is always that, you should match your career goals with the course outcomes by knowing yourself. So what might be suitable for one person might not be suitable for another. So, in a very simplified career planning model, the very first step is to really know yourself, to work on knowing what your strengths are, knowing what motivates you, and knowing what your key skills and skills gaps that you're trying to fill, and then aligning those by exploring the opportunity of the variety of postgrad programs. I'm module leader on a module called Professional Development, which is a compulsory part of some of the master programs, particularly in the Chemie Business School that Deirdre spoke about there. And that helps students, on a weekly basis, guide them through a lot of the challenges that they will face in making choices, taking action in the career space. So we don't have a crystal ball, it's an ever-changing market, but we do see, technological acceleration. We're seeing a couple of trends recently, particularly since post-pandemic, where the competition has widened. So now when people have the opportunity and they're advertising roles hybrid, people can from greater distances can now travel to your locality and pitch for that job, or indeed for remote positions. So the competition has widened, and that means that you have to acquire new qualifications and new skills to meet these new demands. So I suppose lifelong learning is the new normal, and it's very important that you have a personal and professional impact in this ever-changing landscape. There is probably three main reasons or benefits for postgrad study, and I think Geraldine mentioned it at the start. One of them would be career progression. So you want to qualify for senior or specialist roles, maybe not straight away, but you've seen others do similar qualifications, and that has helped them in their career progression. Maybe it's for personal growth. Maybe it's the fulfillment is going to deepen your expertise and add to your confidence. And finally, for career change, maybe you're on a path that you feel isn't fulfilling you, and you are looking for a pivot to move or reskill to a new profession and sector. And the career service is there at every step to support you all year long. During summer holidays, we're open all year long, and that's not to move away from the economic value. Geraldine at the start showed you some figures and the economic value and advantage that employers see with postgraduate education. But if you were to look beyond the payslip, it is certainly more than just money. I remember when I went back to college to study HR in the evening, the professional network through my classmates and my college colleagues were there for decades later to lend for advice or to maybe help with further career opportunities. So that's a hidden benefit, I suppose, beyond, as I said, the payslip. And you're exposed to real world research and innovation, and all of this will increase your own self-belief, motivation, and and purpose. We are very much a data-driven service, so all graduates that graduate from the University of Limerick will be contacted by the UL Career Service, and we will take that knowledge and we publish it, as indeed many colleges do, in what's known as the Graduate Outcomes Survey. So this paints a picture of, you know, where graduates landed, whether you know, they went on to particular positions, what their, you know, the rate of pay was, and it gives you, I suppose, a visual of the marketplace, and that's available on the UL Careers website under the UL website under the Careers Service, and again it's called the Graduate Outcomes Service. So just to finish up and to remind you, as I said at the start, the service is there to support you every step of the way, and there is many challenges to aside from the study in the career realm, getting to know the marketplace, preparing for recruitment practices, looking at maybe some gaps and some areas that, you know, you need to build self-confidence in, and the Career Service is there for you to support you every step of the way. So I'll finish there, and as I say, I'm happy to answer any questions at the end. Thank you.
Brendan, thank you so much. And to also just add to that, we were delighted to be part of your annual careers fair that you host at the university at the beginning of each term, where there was there 200 employers starting their recruitment round for graduates. And it was amazing to see the caliber of the companies who were there to recruit our students and students from the region. And that whole service is delivered by the team there. So
and we're very fortunate, Laura. Thank you. Yeah, we're very proud. It's a great venue. We're lucky to have such a huge venue, the arena, and that allows us to have the biggest graduate fair in the country. So we're very proud of that.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And something that you mentioned there, and this is a really important part and motivation for our next speaker, Adam Burke, who can join us on camera now. You spoke about knowing your strengths and motivations and aligning those with postgraduate programs. And I think nothing speaks stronger than that when you hear more about our alumni and our graduate, Adam Burke. I'll just introduce you, Adam, before
Sure.
we start the chat. Adam Burke completed a degree in psychology before a career in the fitness industry. He later returned to education, completing a certificate in sports psychology and a master's in work and organisational psychology at University of Limerick. Since completing his master's, Adam has worked in social enterprises and the public sector before commencing his current role as learning and development consultant with the Organisation Development and Research Team at Allianz Ireland. He has utilised his knowledge obtained from his education to develop wellbeing strategies, implement initiatives supporting leadership development, and cultivate effective learning environments across multiple sectors. Alongside his work, Adam is also now pursuing a PhD at University of Limerick, where he is researching courage, self-regulation and goal attainment. Insights from his research are directly informing his practice, particularly in supporting individuals and teams to make courageous decisions, sustain change and achieve meaningful goals within a dynamic organisational context. Adam, it is a great pleasure to be able to welcome you to our virtual Open Day webinar today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
For those who might have previously attended any webinars on work and organisational psychology, that was my first introduction to Adam when he was sharing more about his master's journey, and I'm delighted that we can share your message with a wider audience today, Adam, because it is just, you know, it's really been incredible to see your journey. And my first question is around recalling your transition from that psychology undergrad to the MSc in work and organizational psychology. You know, what drove the shift and how did it help you professionally?
Yeah, thanks, and welcome everybody. It's always a pleasure to, I guess, fly the flag for UL. I loved my time there, so I'll start with that. But it's funny when you go through my bio, let's say, it sounds like, yeah, that all happened in a couple of years, but it wasn't. My transition from an undergrad to postgrad was probably 15 years. And I talk a lot about that. So I would have put off doing my postgraduate for a long time, talked myself out of it, made excuses. But a real catalyst was, I guess, being made redundant. And it was an opportunity. Like at the time, it's very, very difficult, but in hindsight, it was a huge opportunity. It allowed me to take some time to really discover what I want to do. So, Brendan, great to see you again, by the way. But you've really pointed out what it did for me. So, it was the personal growth and confidence, but also I did want a career change. So, what had driven me in the fitness industry was motivating people to do more than they thought they could and goal attainment. So I thought, okay, I like doing that, and what could I do? That's why I was driven to do the sports psychology cert, but it was quite niche. So I wanted to apply it in the business sector. So work and psychology, work and organization psychology seemed to fit. But that was only because I had the time to reflect on what do I want to do, what impact do I want to have in work scenarios. So I guess, yeah, it was a long time between undergrad, but the real catalyst was the redundancy as an opportunity.
And so, you said, when you were thinking about going back, there's all these barriers that you perceive towards meeting that goal, but ultimately you just overcome those. And, what would you say to people who have those barriers now? And, should they just try and plow through?
Uh, yes and no. So I'm actually studying this now.
Okay,
This,
good.
we all feel the fear. It's that immediate, avoidance behavior of I don't have the funds or I've kids, so I don't have the time or I'm working. But it goes back to I think Geraldine's points as well with the employment prospects and the career that you crave. So my own research at the moment is looking at emotion regulation, but really looking at anticipated emotions, which I think comes in here. So why? Well, I think we should anticipate the pride or maybe the sense of regret that we might have if we don't act now. You know what I mean? So getting to know yourself, what do you really crave doing? And yeah, it's the right time, there's no perfect time, but
Yes.
it's the right time, and you will navigate the challenges. So I saved the money up. I had I had one kid, I have three kids now, but I had the conversations about, well, if I take this on, what do you need from me and what do I need from you? So, I got the go ahead, and then it was it was like, okay, let's do this. And then you find a way, and I think um what helps as well are the people in UL. I definitely remember Brendan, your sessions from a professional development perspective. The the friends that I have now from it as well have really helped. So you'll get through it.
Excellent. Just we might get that one on a t-shirt. You can navigate the challenge. It's important that there's always a way, isn't there?
It is, yeah. And sorry,
Yeah,
it's just if you find that right program, it's that first step to doing it. Just apply and you will find a way. Of course you will.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely agree on that one. Um, and then bringing you back to where you are now, which is a learning and development consultant at Allianz. You are looking at the competencies needed to achieve your business objectives. How would you say your master's program prepared you for your current role? And what do you look for in graduates?
First of all, Allianz were there, Brendan, at the graduate fair, so we were represented. It's always first on the list. Um, Sorry, going back to the question. What was the question? Sorry.
Well, so it's in two parts. First, how did your master's prepare you for your current role?
Yeah. Let's start with that. So I
Yeah,
think what the best thing about the program was how practical it was. So going into the masters, yes, you get the theory, but I think with work on organization psychology, what I really wanted from it was well, how do I apply this in real time? So if we just look at the learning development module in isolation, what was great about it was you were given a case study and then you went off to work with it as a team. So it absolutely represents how you have to work in my role now. Very, very collaborative. Um, Lots of give and take as well, because you're looking at the strategic moves that we need to make. Possibly having to take time away from people in a busy commercial environment. So being able to influence and negotiate, but that all comes through in the group dynamics as well. So that for me was brilliant. And that wasn't just the learning development session, that was throughout all of them, was the practical nature. And it
Yeah.
gives you such confidence then going into real life project work in any sort of business.
Fantastic. And, you know, they're just huge skills, aren't they? You know, collaboration, influencing, negotiation. It doesn't matter what the role is, you're going to need those. And looking at it from the other side, then, for, you know, somebody who is, you know, welcoming graduates through the graduate programs into your organization, what attributes do you guys look for?
I think it was mentioned that like we talk a lot about lifelong learning.
Okay.
I actually just hosted a kind of large learning event yesterday, and our CEO talked at it. Staying curious, especially in this day and age, that there is so much change. We have, you know, looking at implementing AI across claims and other areas. So it's that willingness to learn and be curious and make mistakes and learn from mistakes. I think that's the biggest thing. Um,
Mhm.
Two of our graduates, we had someone pull out in terms of interviewing some athletes that we work with. So they put their hands up and said, "Yeah, we want to do this on the day," you know. So that ability to be proactive, to put your hand up, and staying curious, trialing things is a big thing for us as well. So, but we mentioned them, collaboration,
Yeah.
those power skills, I call them.
Yep. Yep. Our skills. Love that one. Yeah, that's great. And, you know, it's always good to have that in mind when you're approaching a new program of study, that these are the skills that you're looking to um, grow over that period. And, you know, having, you know, those power skills in mind will really help you kind of form your goals. For and you might have dealt with some of this, Adam, but for prospective students here on the call and those who listen afterwards who might be interested in postgraduate study, what advice would you give them about navigating their choices, especially through your lens as a learning and development consultant at your organization, and also then as a postgraduate researcher with your focus on sustainable work?
Um, Find what you're passionate about. Like it sounds cliche, but I was in the fitness industry, but what I was really fascinated was around how we navigated leadership and team development. So I started talking to those people and got curious at that time and said, well, how do I get into that? And obviously that that time that I had, that opportunity where I could reflect on what I wanted to do, I wanted to really create change in an organization. So it was, you know, employee engagement interested me. I like being around people. I like presenting. So then it starts to build a picture of what you kind of want to do. I'd already thought of the skills I had. I'd already thought of um, the fact that I had an undergrad in psychology. It was possibly a dream for me then to, you know, investigate and explore that further. So work psychology just seemed to work quite well for me. And it's quite broad as well. I think you can, you know, you can bring a lot of those skills and knowledge into most organizations and really sell yourself. So, you know, in from an FDI perspective or foreign direct investment, I worked for the organization in Ireland, really building out their well-being strategy. There wouldn't have been a hope that I would got in the door unless I had this behind me. And it's the same with Allianz. Like we're a really successful organization. Um, my boss has a PhD. We have a business anthropologist working for us, and
Wow.
I don't think I would have gotten in the door without
Mm.
having University of Limerick masters behind me. The questions were, well, can you deliver this practically? And it allows you to sell yourself, gives you the confidence then. Um, the second part of the question, if you wouldn't mind repeating that, Laura.
Um, I suppose putting your postgraduate researcher hat on, is there anything that you have found through your study that will be relevant to those people today who are trying to choose the course that is right for them?
Trying to choose the course. Um, I think it goes back to that reflection piece,
Yeah, yeah.
for me, like it's really knowing yourself. So there are tools out there, and I think we can probably um they can explore that, but things like knowing yourself tools that just ask the right questions, or perhaps using the likes of ChatGPT will help you as well, like get to know yourself. But I think it starts with that.
Yeah,
Like, what do you enjoy doing? We're in
yeah,
our career for a long time. You want to work for an organization that and in a role that really allows you to bring your strengths to the fore. And I
yeah,
feel very fortunate that I get to do that at Allianz. But
yeah.
as I said, it would not have happened without this on my CV. Genuinely, it would
Yeah.
not have happened. Um, and sorry, I really do hold UL in such high regard. Like I wouldn't have got in the door. And the reason I'm doing a PhD is that there's a scholarship fund here. It seems
Mm.
quite serendipitous now, but in my interview, I'd question that, and then we launched a scholarship fund, and then they said they pay for or they fund me to do
Yes.
this. And the first place I went back to was University of Limerick, to work with
Fantastic.
Dr. Deirdre O'Shea and Dr. Moran and Isman Razin. So
Excellent.
um, I'm so fond of the place that if anyone wants to, have me on LinkedIn and ask me questions, well, that's absolutely fine as well.
Excellent. That's very generous, Adam. Thank you so much for that. Um, I have one parting question for you, and again, I think you've kind of touched on it through your other answers anyway. But having navigated so many levels of study at University of Limerick, you know what? Hang on now, I'll just open this. Sorry. What do you think makes UL a unique place for postgraduates, and how would you encourage prospective students to take full advantage of their time here?
Um, I think the practical nature for the program that I did,
Yeah,
so it gives you the confidence that you're going into organizations. You mentioned it, like we don't work in silos, especially in organization development and research. We're essentially internal consultants at Allianz. So we have to negotiate with different areas of the business. We have to influence. We have to go with them as well. So uh, all of um, the areas that we worked through really supported that and gave me confidence then going into what was for me large organizations and actually saying, yeah, I can do this. The second part, I'd go back to again, Geraldine, she mentioned the campus. It's a wonderful campus. I went down there every Tuesday in my first year and every Thursday in the
yeah,
second year. The wonderful kind of gym on site that I utilized quite a bit. The library, which I did it kind of through COVID, so I actually went
yeah.
back to it recently, probably 2 months ago, and I just thought this is just incredible. So the campus is really, really
Yeah,
wonderful. The running track, all of it is just beautiful. Um, the the people as well, they're just so supportive. Even now, going through PhD, I went back because I knew that it's going to be challenge, right? So I've,
yeah,
working, I've got a family there. That's where my primary focus is,
yeah.
but they are so supportive. It doesn't feel like I can't take this on. So I think it is the right place for many people, to be honest.
Amazing. And yeah, look, it's that advice around, you know, the campus and the facilities. You know, I'd invite everyone here to come visit us in UL at some point to really appreciate how gorgeous the campus is. And that is a lovely closing message, Adam, I think. Thank you so much. It's really been fabulous to talk to you again and to hear how your journey is going in the postgraduate space, particularly as a researcher. I think we're going to have to keep tuning in to see how things are going, and your journey certainly continues all of us to stay curious. So thank you so much.
And be courageous. Sorry, that's the parting one. Be courageous. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Thanks,
that's
Laura.
about the navigation. You know, just go for it, just do it. So that's great. Adam, thank you so much. It's been wonderful to hear from you. And I actually want to welcome now the Vice President of Engagement from our Postgraduate Student Union. And so students like Adam and all of the rest of our postgraduate community are represented by the PSU, which is the Postgraduate Student Union. So Mohammed, I'd like to welcome
Laura.
you
How are you?
today. Good, thank you so much.
Good.
I might
Thank you.
hand over to you. So I think you have some slides to share.
Oh yeah, I do. So yeah,
Great,
I'll just
thank you.
share them. Yeah, are you able to see them?
They're just up. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Are you able to see them?
Yep. Yes, we can see them.
Sorry. Sorry,
Are they appearing for you, Mohammed?
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So just a second. Hello everyone, welcome to the University of Limerick. So my name is Mohammed Adnan and I am the Vice President of Engagement for the PSU. So let's get started. So if you are considering UL for your postgraduate study, you are not just, considering an university. It's like mostly a community that makes UL. So my goal today is to give you a quick look of what life is really like for a postgrad in UL, and also as an international student last year, how it was for me as well. So, yeah. So student life, like beyond the classroom. So let's start with the student life beyond the classrooms, because they all talked about the classroom. Now I'll talk it beyond the classroom. So UL has one of the Ireland's most exclusive and active clubs and society scenes, with over 80 of the clubs and societies to choose from. Whether you're into, let's say, investing or sports or volunteering or music or anything, there is something for you in the clubs and societies. And let's say you can't find anything that you're interested in, you can actually go out and create your own club or your society. You have to give in your proposal and you can create them. Also, from PSU's perspective, we also run like regular social events. Like, we have our Diwali coming up. We also have Afro beats for, African cohort, and we have movie nights and all the fun activities and, academic activities like LinkedIn workshop, financial workshops, etc., etc. And now the supports available at UL. So UL has one of the most, I would say, comprehensive student support systems in Ireland. For academics, let's say, you can go to the academic registry or writing center, and you can go to the careers office for your career planning and CV workshops to plan your path after graduation. For well-being, there is a student health center, counseling services, chaplaincy, and we also run our own workshop in the PSU. And financially, there is the student assistant fund and the SUSI grants for unexpected situations. And of course, international students can go to UL Global and become a global ambassador And there is also a disability office in the UL to make sure everyone, feels included and supported. Uh, so building a postgrad community. So now one of the things that makes UL special is the postgrad community. We have a 5,000 strong community of postgrads here. Being a postgrad can sometimes feel, a bit of isolating, especially if you're an international student who has never lived alone in other country. But the university and the PSU works hard to make sure that no one feels left out or alone. Now, university organizes, let's say, career fairs from the career divisions to, make you connect to different uh, people, and also social mixtures like throughout the year with the university, with the PSU, and the student life also like runs social events. Again, you can get involved with the clubs and societies, like I mentioned earlier, and you can also get involved with the President Volunteers Award to, meet like-minded people and also get an award that will look great on your CV. So my advice for the new students, like the prospective students, is the first thing is plan ahead. So if you're coming here, look at all the options the university gives, all the supports the university has. Apply early for scholarships or something. And if you're here, you can start your assignments early, keep regular contact with your supervisor, and budget-wise, the PSU can share tips. And we also have our very own student assistant, student financial advice officer who is works with the student engagement hub. He can provide budgetary advice for you. And the second is get involved early. I would say make the most of your time at UL. Join at least one club and a society from the clubs and societies. Attend all the PSU events that we run, or even become a class rep. And you can even go and join the President Volunteers Award and volunteer more to meet like-minded people and connect with a lot of people. Then getting and you also use a lot of support services available. Like, please don't hesitate to ask for help in the university. Like, everyone is here to help you. If you don't know the answer, we will signpost you someone who will be there to help you. And I'll just like quickly go through. I know there's less time, so yeah. The fourth advice is build your network. So if you're just being to yourself, it won't work out. You have to go out there and talk to people and build your network. As a student last year, this is my like really solid advice. Especially if you're in a new country, you have to build your network to, let's say, get a job after your graduation. And the fifth advice is balance and well-being. So make time for yourself. Like, don't just go to class, go to library, study, and go home to sleep. Don't do that. Again, you can go for walks nearby the river. There's the beautiful Shannon River. There's like a lot of place to walk, hit the UL gym, and again, like join a club or society to, that helps you unwind. And my sixth advice is engage with the faculty, because the faculties are not just professors who come and teach you and go. They have connections, they have industry connections. They can teach you a lot and give you, they open doors to, like, say, research jobs and collaboration and stuff. And also, don't forget to use UL's resources. We have loads of resources at UL, especially in the Gunksman Library. We have workshops, writing centers, career services, and especially in the Gunksman Library, we have something called the Creator Center, where you can go and pick up a camera, or if you're a vlogging device, if you're a social media creator, you can rent it out for free, none charged. So yeah, you can go out and do that. And last but not least, stay curious. You're surrounded by people from over 100 countries, like Geraldine mentioned earlier. So learn from them. So UL's strength is the diversity. So please do step out of your comfort zone and connect. Thank you.
Mohammed, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
love how you've rounded up that advice for people. It
Yeah.
really highlights what will make a really good experience through your postgraduate study time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, uh, and you know, Brendan mentioned it, Adam mentioned it, you know, stay curious, build a network, you know, join, engage. You're part of a community when you come to UL. And I'm so glad that you're here today to share more about that with our future students here. And I suppose it's important to let everyone know that Mohammed and the PSU are part of all of our in-person events on campus here as well. And so at our upcoming event on the 4th of November, the PSU team will be there and some other people from our faculty will be there. So if you want to come and meet us and chat more and discover all of those amazing places in person, absolutely, we would love to welcome you here. So that's an upcoming date, if you like. There's also, and I know through the chat that some people are interested in the graduate entry medicine program. There's an online webinar happening on the 5th of November. I'll share the link in the chat for you there. And then again, there's some others who are interested in some of our health and medicine programs. We'll have a spotlight on those programs at another webinar on the 27th of November. Particularly, I see questions there around the GAMSAT and the HPAT. We'll deal with those in more detail at that webinar as well. So I'll put some links in there to help you find those upcoming events that may be useful for you. I think at 15:59, it's definitely time to wrap up on our open day session today. I want to sincerely thank you all for your time in attending. I hope we got around to answering your questions in the chat. If we haven't, there are contact details there. Please reach out to us by email or through a variety of other channels that we have, and we'll be happy to support you in taking the next step in whichever direction you wish to take. And finally, just a reminder that applications for 2026 are now open. You'll find more details on your program page around, application deadlines, and especially pay particular attention to those that might have an early closing date. Just a reminder, we're also available at gps@ul.ie if you want to contact us now by email. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope we've given you the tools today to stay curious and go further. Thanks so much.